Our next candidate is Wisdom DA COSTA of the Climate Party.
Hello, my name is Wisdom DA COSTA. I'm an accountant and corporate treasurer, spent 30 years in the industry. Locally, I'm a councillor. I've been a councillor for 10 years, fighting for residents, whether it's to deal with their potholes or bins, getting them a town council, or fighting developments. The last few years I've spent working in climate change, especially with our pension fund, a large pension fund, to try and improve their investments and help them face the terrible challenges that the industry is seeing is coming our way. On a personal note, I'm married, I've got 5 children between myself and my wife, and I'm a doting grandfather with 3 grandchildren. Now, the Climate Party is pro-business, pro-climate, pro-local and pro-you. Climate change offers the UK the biggest economic opportunity in history. 92% of the world's £100 trillion of spending and activity is focusing on getting to net zero. It's a global megatrend. And the climate services market is worth £10 trillion. Imagine the prosperity if Great Britain leads this £10 million opportunity, boosting its £10 trillion opportunity, boosting its £2 trillion economy. Imagine the satisfaction if British technology and solutions help the world to get to net zero. Now, we need to mobilise British industry to lead the way in this £10 trillion market opportunity. We need to galvanise the British economy with a 2030 net zero target, driving investment into clean industry and manufacturing and driving exports in the 2030s and the 2040s. Getting to net zero is a global industrial megatrend and a clear market opening. Once our exports take off, we will have the money to invest in our NHS, our defence, social services and potholes. So remember, the Climate Party have a plan. We're pro-business, pro-climate, pro-local and pro-you.
We are starting on the subject of mental health with a question we've received from Hannah, who says access to mental health services has become a significant issue in mid-Buckinghamshire, with many residents experiencing long waiting times. What steps will you take to improve mental health care accessibility and support for our community? And to start with this question, I'd like to invite Wisdom to open up.
Mental health issues are one of the greatest and biggest growing issues for our time. It's young people and old people who are losing hope in what's going on in society. There are a number of ways we can deal with this. The first one is to do with purpose and being in this together. Everyone recognising that we're in this problem together. Climate change is something that's happening. We have to deal with it, and we will put the money and the investment to help people work together, both as communities and from politicians to people, and from people to politicians, to help them work as a community, putting money, facilitating the charitable sector, because there's some fantastic work being done out in the charitable sector. So my wife runs a charity called the West Windsor Hub, which started off as a COVID response charity, but has now turned into a poverty relief charity. But not just a poverty relief charity, but a place where people can actually get together and talk, have a community, have a meal together, get to know each other, and really importantly, support each other. I think we saw that very greatly during COVID, where people started to come together and support one another in a very positive way. So that idea that we're in it together is very important, and it's important for us, for our young people, to know that we're here for them and giving them the opportunity to work together with us and us to stand alongside them.
This is a question we've received from Ellie, who is a young professional, who says the high cost of housing in mid-Buckinghamshire is driving many young people and families away. What plans do you have to increase the availability of affordable housing in our area? Wisdom.
Thank you. Security of tenure, people having a place to live, is very important for them to feel safe as a strong starting point for the rest of their life. And the question was about affordable housing, and let's face it, the expression is an oxymoron, and one coined, sadly, by the Conservative Party, because affordable housing, 80% of the value you would pay, but if most houses, especially in this area, are worth £500,000, affordable housing, according to the current definition, means you're paying £420,000. But young people and even older people, many professionals as well, still can't afford that. So I think we have to shift away from this giving the premium away and look at more social housing. So councils, I believe, should be allowed to invest again in housing stock. and they should be allowed to develop their own ideas, concepts for what is appropriate for local housing. Included within that, they can capitalise the revenues. They would still make money as a council over the 50 years or 60 years of the existence of those social housing. Now, in addition to that, we really need to think about, for those who actually believe in owning their own property, I think we have to come back to the Help to Buy ISA. My young children, they're not young actually, they're 30 now, have really participated in that scheme very well. And that was a great Conservative inclusion or introduction in the first place. So a restoration of the Help to Buy ISA. Another aspect is really to do, and you commented on it, on the right to buy. And one of the problems with people who want to invest in housing, whether it's housing associations, whether it's councils, is that you can't assure your income to pay off the debt if you're selling it off in piecemeal. So people invoke their right to buy, it becomes more difficult to justify it from a commercial sales scale. So removing or restricting the right to buy, sadly, is going to be an important function in actually providing housing, secure housing for everybody.
So the question is, 2019 was arguably the getting Brexit done vote. What, in your opinion, is 2024? Wisdom DA COSTA's Climate Party.
Get climate done by mobilising British industry, boosting exports and revenue, boosting public services, restoring nature, and getting to net zero by 2030. 2050 will be too late.
Thank you very much. Some very long sentences in there, but
Let's go.
we'll go with it. So we'll move on to the next question. This is now the economy, and the question comes from Tom, who's a local business consultant. With the rise of remote working and changing economic conditions, how will you support the local economy and ensure there are sufficient job opportunities in mid-Buckinghamshire? And we're starting this one with Wisdom.
Well, the key is going to be better jobs and more meaningful jobs. Better jobs isn't just good jobs and well-paid jobs, but more meaningful jobs. Because we've seen many people, many young people saying we're giving up our professional careers because they don't mean anything. Chasing the pound is irrelevant when the world is burning. So the meaningful jobs, the better jobs are going to be in the green industry. And when I say green industry, this is the UK mobilising our industry to take advantage of a £10 trillion marketing and business opportunity. But Bucks also can be one of the leaders in the UK for the clean industrial revolution. I also would want to have locally more green buses and, of course, restoring some of the sites that have been closed recently by Arriva. So more local jobs. In relation to getting our business booming, we're really looking to accelerate technological advancements and the lower cost of green technologies, increase adoption of electric vehicles and more efficient energy use nationwide. So creating these solutions for British business, creating dedicated funds and grants for developing renewable energy, technologies like wind, solar, hydrogen, but also nuclear. We have to put that in the mix, and tidal technology, investing in the national grid and EV charging and localised smart grids. So there are lots of things which we can be leading, we should be leading as a UK, and we can lead with that from Bucks. The other aspect of Bucks is going to be making sure that we're side of the green transport and good mobility is going to be making sure we've got the best broadband in the world.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to another question now, which is on the subject of opportunities for young people. And the question is from Samantha, who's a careers advisor at a local college in the constituency, who says, young people need more opportunities for skills development and career advancement. What measures will you take to support youth education, training and employment? Wisdom.
Climate Party want prosperity and well-being for you. By leading the £10 trillion clean green industrial revolution, we're going to need a lot more training and retraining to focus on the task ahead. So we'll be focusing on training, developing pupils for the new world of work and academia, whether it's low technology or high technology green solutions, whether it's apprenticeship or research. But we also need to recognise the value of the art to well-being, the arts and music to well-being, and also teaching you how to live in the world, about democracy, about personal finance, how to invest, how to not take out loans, how to get out of loans, how to manage your tax, how to create businesses, and also teaching you about nutrition. So the Climate Party are going to give you hope. We know what is coming and we will stand beside you, fight beside you for a decent future for you, decent jobs, meaningful jobs, and restore prosperity and hope and personal well-being.
Thank you very much. I would like now to turn to a question surrounding the constituency itself, because obviously the boundary review means that Mid Buckinghamshire is a brand new constituency in the 2024 election, and one thing you might notice when you look at the constituency map is that it covers a very wide geographical area. It stretches from Hewenden and Knapp Hill, just down the road from us here in Wycombe, right the way through up to the northern half of the county, where you've got Wadsden, Steeple, Claydon, you've got Wendover, Princes Risborough. Essentially, it cuts a vast area of Buckinghamshire, which is included in the Mid Bucks constituency. So the question I'd like to ask you is, what would you do to ensure that you meet the needs of voters across such a wide region? A wisdom, please.
So Mid Buckinghamshire is a mixture of rural and urban. In terms of the rural, we certainly want to support farmers and help them transition to this new net zero priorities and achieve prosperity profitably there. In terms of the urban, well, generally speaking, from the urban perspective, we've got quite a high level of well-being, but there are pockets of deprivation. For the urban, I'd like to make Bucks a centre of excellence for the £10 trillion green industrial revolution. Well-being, I won't comment too much on it because then there's a great report to talk about diabetes and smoking, but so we do need to improve the health of individuals with better diets, and I will not comment on smoking for the time being. There are pockets of deprivation, and I think we need to signpost people to the Household Support Fund and other benefits and support that is available. And why not have a wellbeing bus to go around the rural areas so that people can jump on board and find out what they can and can't do and how things can benefit them. Transportation is another key aspect, so we need restoration of green buses to help take cars, diesel engines, petrol engines off the road and ensure we have a clean environment. And of course, we're known for our furniture industry, and wood, of course, is a great absorber of carbon. So it would be great to boost the local furniture industry again to make sure that it contributes towards embodied carbon, basically reducing climate change. Finally, I'm sure we'll all agree on this one, cancel HS2. It's destructive. Pollution, it causes huge amounts of pollution. It's obscenely expensive, has no business case, and it's damaging to the UK.
Thank you very much. We're going to do in the other way around this time. And the quick-fire question again, one sentence. Is it too late to cancel HS2? Wisdom.
Absolutely not. It can be done straight away. We need to restore as well the environment that is destroyed, have appropriate remediation and compensation for people who've been conned out of their land and properties. And as I've said earlier on, it's obscenely expensive. It's projected to kill tens of thousands of animals a year, every year that it operates, and it's going to emit 1.4 million tonnes of carbon. It can be cancelled, it should be cancelled, it must be cancelled. It has no business case anymore. The original business case is to save carbon and to change a modal shift. People would change the trains. People have already changed from planes to trains. There's not even going to connect the north of the country to the south. The original business case was 18 billion, and now estimates are saying it's going to be 100 billion. I agree that with Greg from the Conservative Party that we should cancel it. Cut our losses and run. Why do we want to commit to another £100 billion of spending? It's an unmanageable project which isn't even fulfilling its purpose. It's supposed to connect London to the northeast and northwest. Well, it's not even going that far anymore. So we're getting to 1/4 of the route for 5 times more the money. Cancel it. We can repurpose the bridges, make them actual sort of crossings for animals as part of a nature-wide corridor and ecosystems. There's lots of things we can do. It has no business case. Cancelling it is a must. Forget it. Stop now.
Okay. I think we'll wrap that question there. So what I would like to do now is to invite each candidate to make a closing statement. The closing statement will be 1 minute in length.
So the main thing is to keep the main thing being the main thing. And the main thing is tackling the climate change as an opportunity to drive the UK industry, arts, academia, medical science to take advantage of a £10 trillion clean, green, global industrial revolution. Imagine the prosperity in the UK if we led this opportunity. Imagine the satisfaction, the meaning of British technology and British solutions help the world to get to net zero. So the Climate Party are the only ones who have such a plan. We're pro-business, pro-climate, pro-local and pro-you. So I'd ask you, please vote for Da Costa, Wisdom Da Costa and Ed Gemmell in Wycombe from the Climate Party at this election.
Thank you very much.